Rural depopulation is the decline in the population of rural areas due to migration to urban centers, reduced birth rates, or other factors. People, particularly younger individuals, often leave rural areas in search of better job opportunities, education, healthcare, and improved living conditions in cities. This trend can result in reduced economic activity, loss of services, and social challenges in rural communities. 10 causes of rural depopulation. 1. Lack of employment opportunities. Rural areas often have fewer job opportunities, especially in sectors like manufacturing and technology. For example, younger people may move to cities to find jobs that offer better wages and career advancement, leading to a decline in the rural workforce. 2. Limited educational facilities. Rural areas may have fewer schools, limited higher education options, and fewer resources for quality education. As a result, young people often migrate to urban areas to pursue higher education and remain there for better job prospects after graduating. 3. Inadequate healthcare services. Access to healthcare is often limited in rural areas, with fewer hospitals and medical professionals available. People may move to cities where healthcare is more accessible and advanced, particularly if they or their family members have medical needs. 4. Poor infrastructure. Rural areas may lack essential infrastructure, such as good roads, internet access, and public transportation. For example, lack of internet connectivity can be a major factor driving young people away, as it limits access to digital resources and remote work opportunities. 5. Agricultural challenges. Since many rural communities rely on agriculture, factors like soil degradation, climate change, and fluctuating crop prices can make farming less sustainable. Farmers may leave rural areas in search of more stable income in cities when agriculture becomes unprofitable. 6. Limited social and cultural activities. Rural areas often have fewer social, cultural, and recreational opportunities compared to cities. Younger people, in particular, may move to urban areas where there is a greater variety of entertainment, cultural events, and social networks. 7. Aging population. As young people leave rural areas, the remaining population tends to age. This creates a cycle of depopulation, as older populations are less likely to have children, and the community lacks a workforce to attract new residents or maintain services. 8. Climate and environmental factors. Rural areas that face harsh environmental conditions, such as frequent droughts, flooding, or soil erosion, can become less habitable and productive. People may migrate to urban areas with more stable environments and economic opportunities. 9. Urbanization and industrialization. As urban areas grow and industrialization increases, cities offer more jobs, better infrastructure, and greater economic opportunities. For example, the expansion of urban centers into nearby rural areas can draw residents away from more isolated regions. 10. Government policies favoring urban development. Policies that favor urban development, such as investments in city infrastructure and industry, can draw resources away from rural areas. This imbalance may push people to move to urban areas, where more government services and facilities are available. Here are consequences of rural depopulation. 1. Aging population. With younger residents migrating to urban areas, rural communities are left with an aging population. This creates a shortage of young workers and places more pressure on healthcare services, as elderly residents often require more medical care and social support. 2. Decline in local economy. As people leave rural areas, local businesses, farms, and services lose customers and workers, which can lead to economic stagnation. For example, small grocery stores or gas stations may close due to lack of business, making life harder for remaining residents. 3. Loss of essential services. Rural depopulation often results in the closure of schools, hospitals, and other essential services due to decreased demand. As these services close, residents have to travel farther for basic needs, leading to further inconvenience and isolation. 4. Reduced agricultural productivity. With fewer people available to work on farms, agricultural productivity in rural areas may decline. Small farms, especially family-owned ones, struggle to find labor and may eventually close or sell, leading to a loss of local food sources and contributing to food insecurity. 5. Deterioration of infrastructure. As populations decline, rural areas often struggle to maintain infrastructure like roads, bridges, and water systems. Without sufficient tax revenue, maintaining or improving infrastructure becomes difficult, leading to deteriorated public amenities and less attractive living conditions. 6. Social isolation. With fewer people and fewer social activities, rural residents may experience greater social isolation and loneliness, especially elderly residents who may not have the resources or ability to travel to urban centers. This isolation can lead to mental health issues and reduce the quality of life. 7. Cultural loss. Rural communities often have unique cultural traditions and histories. As people move away, these traditions can be lost over time, and there may be fewer community events or gatherings that celebrate local culture and heritage. 8. Environmental consequences. Abandoned farmland and properties may become overgrown, leading to changes in local ecosystems. Without regular land maintenance, rural areas may experience increased risks of wildfires, invasive species, and loss of biodiversity in certain ecosystems. 9. Increased pressure on urban areas. As rural residents migrate to cities, urban areas may face challenges in accommodating the increased population. This can lead to issues such as housing shortages, overcrowded schools, and increased competition for jobs and services in cities. 10. Potential for ghost towns. As populations continue to decline, some rural communities may eventually become ghost towns. With no one to occupy homes or businesses, entire areas may become abandoned, leading to economic and social loss for the region and potential crime or decay in these empty places. 7 strategies to reduce rural depopulation. 1. Enhancing employment opportunities. Creating jobs in rural areas is essential for retaining and attracting residents. Strategies include promoting rural industries like agriculture, tourism, and renewable energy, and encouraging businesses to establish branches in rural communities. For example, governments can offer tax incentives to companies that invest in rural job creation. 2. Improving education and training facilities. Improving access to education and vocational training in rural areas helps residents develop skills for local industries. Establishing community colleges, vocational training centers, and online education programs tailored to local needs can make education more accessible. For example, offering courses in sustainable farming, technology, or hospitality could prepare residents for local jobs. 3. Investing in healthcare services. Access to quality healthcare is a major factor in residents' decisions to stay in or leave rural areas. Building clinics, training rural health practitioners, and improving transportation to healthcare facilities can make rural areas more attractive. Mobile health units and telemedicine programs also expand access to medical care. 4. Developing infrastructure and digital connectivity. Modern infrastructure, especially reliable internet access, is crucial to attracting people to rural areas. Governments can invest in road maintenance, reliable water systems, and high-speed internet in rural communities. Improved digital connectivity allows remote work, making it possible for residents to find jobs without moving to urban centers. 5. Supporting agriculture and local businesses. Supporting agriculture and small businesses encourages economic resilience in rural areas. Governments and nonprofits can provide financial aid, grants, or low-interest loans to help farmers and local entrepreneurs. For example, promoting sustainable farming practices and providing small business grants can help local economies thrive. 6. Promoting rural tourism. Rural tourism can generate income, create jobs, and preserve cultural heritage. Programs that promote ecotourism, agritourism, such as farm stays or vineyard tours, and cultural events can attract visitors to rural areas. For instance, hosting festivals, fairs, or nature retreats encourages tourism while supporting local businesses. 7. Creating youth engagement programs. Youth engagement programs encourage young people to stay in or return to rural areas. Offering scholarships, apprenticeships, and mentoring programs focused on local industries helps young people see a future in rural areas. For example, Stay Local scholarship programs can offer tuition help to students who agree to work in their rural communities after graduation.